So Mars enters Libra next Wednesday, August 6th, and by Friday, August 8th, it's creating a trine with Uranus in Gemini. This is actually part of a larger configuration. So this is called a kite formation, and you can probably see why it looks like a kite. It's made up of a grand trine. In this case, that's the big blue triangle that's like upside down. So it's Mars, Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, and then there's a smaller triangle at the top, which is made up of the trine between Uranus in Gemini and Pluto in Aquarius, and they are both sextiling Saturn and Neptune up at the top of the chart in Aries. Meanwhile, Saturn and Neptune in Aries are opposing Mars down here in Libra. The blue lines that you see indicate aspects that are considered to be generally positive, and the red line indicates an aspect that's considered generally to be negative. Trines and sextiles, which are the blue lines, indicate ease, flow, and momentum, especially the trines. So that's the relationship between Mars, Pluto, and Uranus, all in air signs. Because the trine aspect signifies ease and just an unfolding of events that you don't have to like push too hard to make it happen, it's kind of inevitable. There's also a risk of laziness. In the kite formation, there is a difficult, tense aspect, this opposition, and it serves to create the tension necessary to make the most out of the positive momentum of the trine. In this video, I want to focus on this aspect specifically, this grand air trine. Mars in Libra is trining Uranus in Gemini. That's next Friday, August 8th. And then the following Monday, August 11th, it's trining Pluto in Aquarius. So we're looking at a combination of Martial, Uranian, and Plutonian energies across air signs. The element of air in the zodiac represents mental energy. It's your intellect, your ability to formulate an idea and communicate it to your fellow humans. And in a lot of ways, these air signs represent the human capacity for reason, the ability to strategize, the ability to create and use tools or technologies. There's something extremely human to me about air signs, and it's not the capacity for consciousness, period. I think that humans have a very specific kind of consciousness that we really hold on to as like evidence that we are in charge here or know more than the animals and the plants that have been here forever. Air as an element represents that like very human specific kind of consciousness that we call intelligence. So that's the playground these three are playing in. What is the peak of human intelligence? And is it even human anymore? And also, with air signs, I really think about like, okay, yeah, you have the ability to worry. You have the ability to overanalyze a situation. Does that actually make you superior in any way that you would want to be? Now, Mars really struggles in Libra. I talked about that in my last video. There's just such a tension between Mars wanting to take action that feels right in the moment and Libra insisting on weighing out all of the possible options and discerning what the best option is for everyone involved. Mars wants to do what feels good. Libra demands that Mars consider what feels correct and appropriate. Uranus wants to blow the whole case wide open. Uranus is a rebel and an innovator. Uranus is deeply unsatisfied with whatever the status quo is, wants to burn it to the ground and then kind of show you or give you the tools to build something that you could never have imagined. And in the sign of Gemini, it's using information and data collection to do that. Gemini is the twins, endlessly engaged in discourse and analysis, and also embodying just the duality of information. Two opposite things can be true at once. They are true at once. With Mars representing our courage and Uranus representing innovation, I do think about like boldly going where no one's gone before, and what that looks like in air signs, which are so technological and like just information driven. We cannot forget about Pluto's role in this. Pluto is in Aquarius. It's part of this air trine. Pluto is depth, death, transformation. It's also secrets. Pluto brings what has been buried or kept secret out into the open. It brings it to the surface. With these three in a trine, I think that, okay, so with Uranus being involved, whatever occurs or like manifests during this time, you can't anticipate it because Uranus refuses to be anticipated. But it's almost like with a trine that just like unfolds, once it happens, you kind of look back and say like, oh my God, how could we not have anticipated that? The signs were everywhere. Pluto is just like showing us what has always been part of the equation, that for whatever reason we couldn't or wouldn't see it. I do want to highlight a couple pieces to this puzzle that I actually really like and that feel kind of hopeful, which is that, so Mars is in Libra. It is what it is. Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is actually doing really well during this moment in time. Venus is in Cancer. She's going to come up to meet Jupiter in Cancer on, I think it's August 11th. And that's a really, really beautiful piece of astrology. Venus and Jupiter are the two benefics, so they bring beneficial experiences, ease, good luck, forward momentum, progress. Mars engaging in all of these other aspects is receiving instruction from Venus, who's getting loved up by Jupiter in Cancer. So that's very positive and gives kind of a community building vibe, especially like just engaging in conversations or making agreements or deals with people or groups of people that you did not think you had anything in common, but here you are showing up for each other. And then another thing that I like about this moment is that Uranus in Gemini is ruled by Mercury, who is preparing to station direct at this point. Mercury stationing direct means we're back on track, and it definitely contributes to the possibility of new information or clarified information being revealed. Maybe it's even a piece of information that we already had, but now it's like legitimized or formalized, or it makes sense in a new way. There's just so much going on all at once, and it's all feeding each other. It feels like I could talk about this forever, but I won't. I hope this video was helpful and interesting. If you liked it, please leave me a like, comment, share it if you think something was said here that would be interesting for someone else. Make sure that you follow me and click the bell to get notified when I go live if you're interested in chatting with me live. If you'd like some insight on how this astrology is playing out in your life and how to navigate it, click the mushroom and visit the site listed to book a session with me. I'd love to work with you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Good job today. Good luck out there.